you are God. Come on, come on.
Good evening and welcome to Youth Awake. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. And Youth Awake, we are live.
Come on, sing it, guys. Every praise, come on. Sing hallelujah, come on.
Good evening wherever you are, and once again, thank you for joining us on Youth Awake. It's another Thursday night and we are live with you again. If you're watching on Facebook, I want to say thank you for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. This is ADINKRA Radio. We are live every Monday and Thursday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tonight is a very wonderful show. We have a very wonderful guest in the studios. We haven't had a guest in the studio for a long time, so we're excited to have this guest in the studio, and she's going to be with us from now to the top of the hour, 11 p.m. Don't forget to share the page. Invite someone to be also be blessed from what we're going to learn and discuss today.
Glory, hallelujah. Every praise, come on. Come on, let's go one more time. Come on, every praise, sing it, y'all. Every praise, every praise. Oh, God. Come on with your heart, sing hallelujah.
I'm excited to have everyone in the studio tonight. In 2 minutes, I'll be introducing our guest for tonight. She's ready. I hope you're ready. And then we're going to kick it going. We're talking about right living. And I believe this is a very important topic. It's a broad topic. Everybody can chip in. If you're watching on Facebook, you can leave a comment. And we'll read your comment out. If you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment as well in the comment section. And then we'll talk about it. My guest for tonight is a very special person, not just to me, but I'm sure she's a blessing to the whole world. And I'm sure she'll introduce herself and you get to know her more, and then we'll get into the discussions. And so without much ado, let me introduce my guest for tonight, Miss Danielle Dryden. Welcome to Youth Awake.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
We're excited to have you here, and I believe that tonight is going to be a good night, a perfect night that we can have discussions, talk, and get some, get some
juices flowing.
I guess,
Hallelujah.
into what we talk about. Anyways, so you want to tell us a little about yourself? Maybe there's some of our guests who don't really know you; they've not really seen you before. It's their first time seeing you here.
Okay, absolutely. Like you said, my name is Danielle Dryden, first responder. Let's see. I'll tell you some of my hobbies. I love to dance. I love to sing. We love to help people and everything like that. I work with Nee, the host. And
All right.
yeah, talk too much.
That's a good thing. We need that on the show.
That's right.
It really helps. I mean, today we are talking about right living, and you can talk about right living without talking.
Right living.
Especially for the kind of audience that we have,
Yes.
young people and stuff like that.
Young blood.
Yeah. So we'll be doing a little bit of here and there veering off topic and stuff like that. But I'm sure at the end we should have a very good conversation, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So let's just set the ball rolling. What in your own words, what do you think is right living? Is there really a right way to live? Is there really the right way, or is it, to express yourself in life?
Is there a right way to live and express yourself? That's really murky. It's definitely not something that's black or white. I think life involves just like a culmination of experiences. And that might affect how you live. Whether you experience trauma or happiness or sadness, depression, all kinds of stuff through somebody else's eyes, that's also kind of a way to live too. We read books, we pray, we do all these things. You listen to your mama's stories, your auntie stories and stuff. That might affect how you live because you live vicariously through them. You know what I'm saying? You know, in college, I wasn't popping and locking and dropping it too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I have some friends that love to party, okay? Not just a little at the club. We're talking about doing some drugs and calling living. I'm going to call that live. And I don't think that's a wrong thing to do or a right thing to do because life is all about experiences. You know? Sometimes I think if you're too put into a corner, that could be more dangerous. Because, like, for instance, there was this really, really smart girl in my high school, right? Perfect straight A's. You know, she was Jewish. Family is making it rain. Money-wise, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was great. It was great. And then she goes to college. And, like, she was crazy. Crazy! Because she didn't have what? Any experiences. She didn't really, like, you know, dabble into the drugs, dabble into the partying, dabble into all these different kinds of things. Not saying you should dabble into drugs and partying and hardcore life, but I mean, experiences are extremely important. I don't think there's a wrong or a right way to live, but I do think what you do, your response to certain experiences really does affect how you live. You know what I'm saying?
So, in your personal, you know, experiences, you support a lot of experiences and stuff like that. So then, do we live, quote unquote, vicariously and let our experiences lead us and teach us what to do or get us onto the next path? Even know what I'm asking. Do we just let it all out and just rely on our experiences and the things that we think, the mistakes we make, and then we right them as we go along, or do we still need to sit back sometime and find a path to follow?
So I think you're saying, do we just go all out and experience all the experiences we can have, or we should just kind of live vicariously to somebody else? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
I think life is about moderation, right? I love sweets. Everybody who knows me knows I have the biggest sweet tooth, right? If I would love to have all the cakes, all the cookies, all the cream. But at the same time, life is about moderation. I don't think you really have to go out there and have all these experiences, all the good, all the bad, all the ugly. You should have a little sprinklage here, sprinklage there. You know what I mean? Read about some experiences. You don't have to kill yourself to experience everything. But I think it's actually important. You know, you can relate more, you grow more, you're a deeper person, all kinds of stuff like that.
All right, let's get into the meat of our topic.
The meat.
Now,
all right, let's get into the meat.
It has been, especially even in the social media world. So you
social media.
see your celebrity,
A celebrity.
mentor, or I don't know, somebody you look up to, you know, living a particular kind of lifestyle. You kind of adjust yourself to that kind of lifestyle. You know, they're wearing this particular kind of hair, you buy this particular kind of hair. There's a new trend in shoes, you kill yourself to get it. There's
Not me, guys. He's just saying people, right?
in general, most people actually, and so pretty much our lives are being lived for us through social media.
Yeah.
And even before social media, the traditional media, TV, radio, that was
Social media has
way to go.
always kind of told us how to live. You know, when you look at like Apple products and stuff, right? It's like they're not saying you should get this. They're like, here, this is what you want, right? And I think social media has a lot of amazing aspects. It's helped people fight depression, help people live their best lives, help people glow up. But I do think a lot of social media could be dark. It depends on what you feed on, what you eat, what you kind of embrace. You know what I mean? I was never too into social media just because sometimes I get like frustrated. Okay, like some of my best friends love social media and I'm totally down for it. But I'm sick of every time I go out, oh my gosh, we have to take like 10 pictures of like our pieces of chicken. Like, you know what I mean? You have to take like 500 pictures and like live this weird fake life. I was about to curse, but I didn't. Hallelujah. Won't he do it? You know what I mean? But it's dangerous, you know? I'm tired of seeing all of these.
No, feel free. We
trying to
open
be
it.
saved here, you know what I'm saying? But can I be real?
Yeah.
okay, I'm tired of seeing a lot of these fake ass women, and men with just fake lives all the damn time on social media. So what I mean is, as soon as you see Instagram, you see somebody, they look great, by the way, but it's always like big booty Judy, big juicy rack and a big behind and little waist, and the lips are like plumped to life. And I don't know, it's kind of scary when I see like these little kids who are wanting to plump up their lips, who wants to have like the biggest boobs and biggest butt in the world, and they think that they're like the ugliest creatures. Meanwhile, you are regular and you are beautiful. You know what I mean? You are normal. I don't have a butt. I've never had a butt, right? I'm flat in the back, short stack. Ain't nothing there. I turn sideways, it just looks like there's air behind me, But I'll have like moments, and then like I'll see like Nicki Minaj, I'll see Beyonce, I'll see all of them, and I'm like, you know what? For this whole month, I'm gonna have a booty schedule. Okay, I'm gonna do like.
What is that? What does that mean? What's schedule?
Schedule. I wake up, I'm gonna do like, about 100 squats, and then I'm gonna get on fours, and I'm gonna lift my knee back, and I'm gonna do all these things to make my butt grow. Like, I'll have these like moments, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna look like Beyonce. I'm gonna look like Nicki Minaj and them. Does it always work? Sometimes. Maybe I'll see like a little, I'll feel something. I think it's in my mind. But no, I don't look like them physically.
Right.
And it's like, if I get affected over these simple little things, I can't imagine what it's like for like little girls to grow up in social media. I'm an old bird, so I didn't grow up with like, Instagram didn't exist but a few years ago. You know what I mean? And I didn't grow up with like just Instagram and Facebook all up my face and all these other platforms with this one type of manufactured person. When I say person, not just woman, men, and like just like lifestyles. Like, everyone is perfect, everyone's at the beach. Oh, okay, this reminds me. So Aunt Deb, she's like my Italian mom, right?
Who?
Aunt Deb.
Okay.
So yeah, I call her Aunt Deb. She's my Italian mom. She's hood, she's real. But she has a green thumb. So her entire house has a beautiful garden, right? The most luscious, most beautiful, vibrant colors and plants and everything. So then one day, this was in high school, when Facebook was still kind of like in puberty, it's still new. So in high school, I was looking through my Facebook, and I saw everybody like going on exotic vacations. A lot of people are like really wealthy in my hometown. And I was like, I was in Aunt Deb's house, and I was like, let me take a picture in front of this beautiful tropical plant and say I'm in like Puerto Rico or Mexico or something, right? Because the background was looking cute, and I could work with it, and I could lie to people. And then she's like, oh, kid, what are you doing? And because I had the phone, and I was like trying to look cute, and I told her like, oh, I'm gonna just tell people I was in Puerto Rico. And she was like, cut the shit, Italian style. And then in that moment, I realized like, what kind of living is this? I'm just trying to live this false kind of life to make everybody think that my life is perfect. I'm in Puerto Rico and getting a tan, and you know what I mean? When people ask the story, so how is Puerto Rico? Where's the stories? What happened? What am I gonna say? Oh, nothing. Oh, it was a lie. I took a picture. Oh, that's the bush right there that I took the picture in.
So with I mean, you are not on social media. Like you said, you're not really on social media.
No, but I know who I am, and I know that if I really the kind of person that I really am, I could easily like get into social media. Like, I know once I'm in.
Right, but I'm just saying that if you're one of the people who's really not into social media, no. And you're able to get affected so much that you have to take pictures on the bush. Then imagine the people who are really on.
Yeah.
And coming to the church and coming from the Christian background. Our young people today are on social media.
Yeah.
They are seeing what is happening. They are seeing the for example, if your plan went through, people will still be jealous. Be like, oh, Danielle went to, I don't know, Puerto Rico, and I want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, people are always going to be jealous, but like it's kind of unhealthy when you always see Susie and Marianne and, you know, Shanae always having a perfect life. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone is taking the best pictures with their boyfriends, with their girlfriends, looking cute. Bodies are all fake. Everyone's editing shit before sorry, photos before they put it online. Like, you know what I mean? And then you're at home, or you're saving a life, blood on your pants, or whatever. You're studying in a corner in the library, right? Because you're trying to get in medical fields even more. And, you know, you see this other person and their life is nothing but happy and bubbles. And it's just like, it can make you feel like your life just really is minuscule.
All right, so let's draw it back in. So where do we cut the where do we cut the line? How do we solve or begin to solve the kind of issues that we face, especially with our young people? If you're born in the year 2000, you're 21 already. Can you imagine? If you were born the year 2000, you're 21.
If I was 21 in the year 2000.
No, if you were born in the year 2000, you're already 21.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole new generation that is coming up within this system. So how do we even begin? Where do we start from? Do we start from here, social media, where we are talking about the issues? Do we start from the home, from our parents? Do we start from the church? Where do we begin?
I think you said it all. Hallelujah. Okay. I think the church is a huge thing that could really affect a lot of youth. Talking about how individuals are beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? God, in the Bible, it talks about how God knew you before you even born, knew every hair on your head. You know what I mean?
Right.
He loves you just the way you are. And I think we have to kind of like remind people that that's the truth. Remind them that like you are not your clothes, you are not your hair, you are not your house, you are not your car, because none of that stuff really matters. Let's get to the core. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's, man. And even in schools, I think we should also talk about what's real, what's fake. Let's talk about how, okay, yes, let's all give props to the beautiful, amazing Beyonce, okay? But I'm looking at her body now, and to me, it looks like a BBL, Brazilian butt lift, okay? I said what I said, and I'm not taking it back. Her body's amazing. It's gorgeous, and she's great. But she said in, like, a lyric with her and Megan Thee Stallion, something like, you know, she has an all-natural body, and her beehives, don't come after me, y'all. You could. You know, I'm nothing but a fart in the wind. Like, I really don't care. But, like, her beehives were saying, oh, my gosh, because she said her body is real and
the beehives is what?
Oh.
Just because of our audience. Some of us don't.
Beyonce's hardcore fans. They will hunt you down. They will find you. They'll destroy you on social media.
So these are... Okay, just finish your story first.
Yeah,
yes.
So they're hardcore Beyonce fans. If you say one thing against her, they're like her beehives, her bayhives. You know, they're going to attack you. Mm-hmm. But, okay, Beyonce said that her body was completely natural. But at the same time, she did give birth to twins, right? And she had C-section. Usually when you have a C-section, your muscles and everything gets completely distorted compared to your old body, right? That's just what it is. So the muscles are even more separated than they were before. The fat is displaced. That's why a lot of women get that fupa naturally after you get a C-section.
I mean, you're in the medical field, so
you're in the medical field too. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So at the same time, and then people are like, oh, well, because Beyonce had like a C-section and twins, her booty got real big. She always had a big, she didn't always have a big butt. She didn't. In the early 2000s, nothing, because no butts were a thing, even though she was shaking her butt for years in front of everybody. I look at pictures now from back in the day, and it was little, which is fine, but now it's huge. And yeah, you could say she works her butt off, but seeing women who have C-sections and all kinds of stuff, I think it's okay to get a mommy makeover, and it's okay for regular moms to realize that that's a thing, that maybe Beyonce and all these other celebrities that kind of keep things hush-hush and claim that they never had surgeries, it's okay to think like, maybe they did get it, and maybe I can get it too. But I think that recognizing when people are getting fake bodies and stuff, recognizing that and like owning it It's important, I think. It's
So-
like, look at Kylie Jenner. Look at them lips, okay? Remember? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. So again, drawing it back into how to. So you're suggesting that these people that we look up to on social media should own the fact that they what they have or what they carry is not necessarily real. It doesn't have to be on their
Not
body.
necessarily, yeah. Like, or if we see it, it's kind of important to realize, like, hey, I'm pretty sure this ain't real. You know, I think we just feed into everything that we're given, and it's like not healthy at all. It's kind of scary.
You spoke about the people, their fan base and stuff like that. That should be a problem as well, because if I'm a celebrity or I'm a star and I have a fan base who's gonna attack anybody who attacks what I do back negatively, then it's a problem, because then there's nobody to voice out.
Yeah, everyone's scared to talk. Everyone is afraid to talk. People are afraid to tell the truth, to say they're just their opinions. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is opinion based. I think it's like, yeah, the whole fan base situation, it is scary. Everyone's afraid to talk no matter what, because nowadays, back in the day, early 2000s, late 90s or whatever, people just said what they said. You know what I mean? It could be somewhat what we think is extremely offensive now was just part of normal talk back in the day. Nowadays, everybody is getting canceled for everything. And I think it's just exasperating. It's annoying. Like, we're going back and we're digging up Dr. Flippin' Seuss. And we're like, we're going to cancel him because of these extremely hurtful pictures that we cannot see anymore. Like, I think it's just too much. Like, I'm tired of all the cancellation. Why not we keep the history? Let's talk about things that we no longer should, like, produce, such as maybe Asian characters with slanted eyes or something, right? With the way Dr. Seuss did it, everyone got offended. I didn't get offended when I saw the black people in his cartoons with like skirts, because they were in Africa. They had skirts and no shoes, and everyone was freaking out. But I'm just like, okay, well,
So
Dr.
this
Seuss.
is Danielle talking to a young high school student who's
Yeah, everyone's too sensitive.
just about to leave home
Yeah.
and get into college.
Yeah.
All right. What is your advice to them for a right kind of living? Because once they get out, the world is at their feet. They're gonna meet people who are into so many different things.
Yeah.
Different characters, different demeanors, different
It's a beautiful thing. Mindset.
mindsets. And so, what do you say to such a person so that by the time we get to 21, 22, we are at least on the path of right living? Because I think that's where the problem is. No matter how we look at it, the social media, I think there has to be a way out. So what do you tell such a young person?
Moderation. moderation. And I think the more you do it, let me speak English. Lo siento, pero I think that the more friends you have, the more diverse, friend groups that you do have and get exposed to, embrace that. Embrace your Asian friends, embrace the person who's super nerdy and what they may like and different things like that. You might have some pot friends. Well, people who love to smoke marijuana, people who struggle, people who are, artists and engineers and like biochemists and like just dancers and stuff. Embrace all those things, because through all these different people, they're going to affect you and they're going to make you grow. You know what I mean? Or you could just choose to be in a corner and just talk to people who look like you, act like you, think like you. But I think that like you want to grow. What's the point of just staying in this one corner with the same people that look like you? If like in the world, you're going to walk into somebody else who's not going to look like you and not sound like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? It's important to grow.
So you touch on modesty. In what way? In what way?
Modesty. I think it's important to be modest in a lot of activities. I'm not saying to go to the club, that's the club, all the time. But if you just want to pop, lock, and drop it a couple of times, sister, then you go ahead and pop, lock, and drop it. Okay? If you want to be modest on how much you go to the coffee shop, be modest on that. A little sprinkling in your life of different experiences it's important. But to overindulge, that's when things get super tricky. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't be too crazy, but please do explore the world. You know, whether it's through your own experiences or through a friend or somebody, it's still important to kind of have that.
Our friends, you know, where we come from, being from the Christian background, and I say Christian, I'm using the religious form.
Hallelujah.
We have
Yes.
a goal. We have you know, where we want to get to. We have, you know, and
Semambabosho.
paths to follow, and so therefore, once we're out there, we are expected. There's a standard that we expected to display.
Yeah, that was hard for me. I went to SUNY Geneseo, right? Geneseo alumni, yay. I grew up in a super, super religious family. We're Jamaican, you know what I mean? And then I go to school, and one of the first classes I took was science versus religion, okay? So, and also, like,
So that was a class.
that was a class, okay?
The name of the class was science versus religion.
Oh my damn. That was the hardest class ever. Because
Who won?
Who won? Who won the class? The whole class was against me, and everybody, like, our school is really awesome with the sciences, right? And I was like, it was me and like a couple people in the class, like a few others who were like, you know, Father, Son, Hallelujah, thank you, Lord, Papa G. You know what I'm saying? We were chilling. We go to church all the time. We believing. And then everybody left me. The couple of people on my side left me, and the whole class was just like all about science. And like that was really hard. And our professor used to be a pastor, but then his brother died in the military, and then he became a non-believer. But he, like, it's okay to not believe, but he like loathed Christianity and religion, period. So it was like every time I said something, he was like, get the hell out of here. It was harsh. Horrible class. I had anxiety all this. I was always calling pastors and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. you know?
Again, coming back to our, and that's one of the reasons why most of our, and I say our people, I mean, believers,
Yeah.
young believers, the youth, the young adults, they get into whether school or get into the outside world, and there's a blockage. And you're talking about right living, a little bit of everything. Why can't we stand for ourselves? It's only 4 years or 5 years in school. Why can't the believer go into school, come out as a believer, keep doing what they do, keep doing what they believe in?
You could. I went into school as a believer, came out as a non-believer. Just joking. I came out still as a believer. Like,
but the struggles, like you mentioned, there's a lot of struggles.
Struggles are real. Yes, you gon' struggle. It's the real world, and you're gonna question. Some people never question, but like especially in that class, I had to question. I had to question a lot of things. I had to question God's existence. I had to question, you know what I mean, Adam and Eve's existence. Did that really happen, or you know, I'm looking at the apes, I'm looking at how we evolved, you know, I'm looking at the evolutionary aspects and the Galapagos Islands and where all that came from. And I'm like, did God actually exist? Did creationism exist? Did he just say, bam, Adam and Eve? Or am I going to look at these skulls that are really close to humans and, you know what I mean? And think, you know what? Maybe they did evolve this way. Or maybe Adam and Eve were kind of like almost like monkeys, and then they developed into us, or no. Like, I think about all that. I had to do like all these essays on these kinds of things, and grab some parts of religion and grab some parts of science and evolution and try to mix them together.
So most of any, I wanted to dwell on this a little bit because it's a concern.
Yeah.
For most young people going into school or going into, and that is the fear of parents, the fear of even the church, pastors and leaders of the church, the fear of losing whatever it is that is sent into the schools. It looks like there's a pre-planned agenda to rip you off faith or your belief system once you get into an institution, and for you to be able to attain the training and the wisdom they're giving to you, you have to let go of something. I mean, taking a class like you said,
Science versus religion.
yeah, that takes I'm sure most people enter the class as believers.
Oh, yeah. I know everyone was atheist. It was so funny, except for me. I was just like,
Right.
But yeah, I was struggling. But
You can equate that to somebody taking a class in, I don't know, atheism, I guess.
yeah,
Just because it's pretty much on the same path. You're literally being stripped of what you think you know, and you become the victim when you don't agree.
is it a victim or is it? Oh, in my class, I was totally a victim just because people were attacking me, and like, you know, even the teacher was like, "I hate you," and I was like, "I know." However, I think that it's good to be challenged in like everything that you do. You know what I mean? Even challenging yourself on certain aspects of the Bible. You know, one preacher could tell you this kind of translation in this verse or this chapter, whatever you may have it. This other pastor may, in the same exact verse, you know, tell you their belief, and it could be a little bit different, similar, but the overall message is similar, but it's still a little bit different, you know, for different people. I think it's important to talk about different dialects. It's important to challenge your mind thought and like to not be afraid. Like, fear is not of the Lord, right? Okay, great. So you're gonna go into college, you go into the world. Don't be afraid. And you know what? If you are afraid, that's okay. But that's even more of a way to challenge yourself or to dive into that fear. I think the more you are afraid of something, the more you should kind of try it out.
So you think there should be a prepping process?
Except don't be like, oh, I'm afraid of like crack cocaine and try it out. Don't be that crazy, kids, okay? Don't. I'm just saying with a lot of different, you know, differences and, you know, even what you did grow up with at home, it's important to look at things in different perspectives and not just be one-sided. So what we this is a break?
Yep. All right, so we're still talking to Ms. Danielle Dryden. She's a motivator. She speaks to a lot of people, and she speaks from the heart. And so it looks like our conversation is a little off our usual today, but it's important so then we can get different aspects of what you're talking about. If you're still watching on Facebook, you can join in the conversation. Maybe any question that is bothering you, anything that she said that you have a different opinion to, please do so. It's a free platform. You can bring your ideas so that we can go on. We're going to go into right living. We're going to talk about people living by a false standard. I think that's the word that was used earlier on, and how we can get our young people, how we can get our youth to get on track. And so do well to join the conversation. Don't be left out. I know it's not the usual sessions we have, but it helps us that we can diversify a little bit. You still listen to Youth Awake. All right, so Miss Danielle, we're talking about
How to get the youth back.
Right, how to get our young people at least some way somehow on the right on the right path.
Listen,
if I should say that.
I think that the beautiful thing about social media, for instance, yes, there's a lot of it is false, but a lot of things are real, and you could also control who you follow and what you watch, and you know what you saturate yourself in, right? So maybe you're like, I don't like my natural hair or something, so you could actually follow a lot of amazing natural sisters or brothers or just people, you know what I mean, who love their natural hair. It could show you really cool techniques and things and stories and stuff. You could be a little bit uncomfortable about your body, fine, you know, follow the people that you do love and that you do admire, give you some inspiration. Then also sprinkle in those natural people too that like remind you that like you are lovable, you are loved, you're beautiful, you know what I mean? Them love handles, they're meant to be grabbed and loved, like stuff like that. I just don't think it's safe for a lot of people, the world, to just like stay focused on one category. It's just not healthy, and you have to remember that a lot of things are definitely not real in social media nowadays. Like I said, like Kylie Jenner's lips in the beginning, for years she was like, these are my real lips, I did nothing to change them. Meanwhile, she ain't have nothing but one slit. You know what I mean? Right before she changed her whole entire face and her body, she had no lips, guys. Not a lip.
Earlier, you were talking about finances, and I think we should talk about that as well.
Finances. Let's get into it. With student loan debt.
With right living in general.
Oh, right living.
If I see Kylie Jenner or whoever she is with a particular kind of look, and I want to get that, I'm sure they use money to get there. And so our young people are wasting money. They are buying things that they don't need. They're spending money to get a certain look, even cars. You know, there's no need for some people. And I don't want to be general, but there's no need for some people to be spending their whole life savings on a particular kind of car just to be, around and influential with their friends and stuff like that.
Flossing and dossing.
That's what they call it, yeah.
Yeah, like, no, we are not going to do that. Okay, guys? Guys, listen. Okay, even better. So, I had no idea how a lot of people would kind of abuse government assistance. Okay? I didn't know this until college. Like, I was completely dunce about this fact. So, there's some people I was associated with, and, this one person had $1,000 coat. $1,000 coat. Oh, what's it called? Canadian geese?
A coat, like a jacket.
Okay. Jaqueta. $1,000. Okay. All of their siblings got every single thing that they wanted. So their youngest sibling wanted a MacBook and an iPhone and all these kind of crazy gadgets. Great, right? But they couldn't afford it. Like, they couldn't technically, but they used all their money on government assistance and stuff to get the money. I think that's crazy. I think it's kind of frustrating when I see these young kids and they're using their last cents just to look fly on some $1,000 shoes. But then you go home, you could have spent that $1,000 on what? Some of your savings. You could have spent that $1,000 on something applicable to your life other than some piece of plastic and string. You know what I mean?
And again, I think it goes back to our thing about the government and social media and the things that see. Because
and the thing is with a lot of celebrities and stuff, they don't actually buy these things. They get sponsored, or suppose you're a designer, right? Or suppose I got the hookup, shit. I'll be like, you know what, Nee, please wear this. You know what I mean? Tell everybody about it, post about it. You don't have to pay for it. Or just wear it for a day and I'll take it back. And then everyone's going to buy it and stuff and go crazy over it because you put it on your back. And that's crazy because a lot of celebrities actually don't. They don't buy these things. Okay, one of my favorite shows. What's it called? When the celebrities open the houses. Cribs?
I have no idea.
Cribs. Come to my crib. So celebrities, it was on MTV. MTV would go to the celebrities' houses and, MTV Cribs. You go to their house and they get to show you their entire house, their cars, their TVs, where the magic happens, the bedroom. But, a lot of them, if you look it up on YouTube or Google, Bow Wow and all these other celebrities, they just, some of them rented their houses, rented the cars for the TV show, And they're I believe it. Everyone believed it growing up because we didn't have social media and stuff to confirm or deny if they got these real things. But a lot of it was fake.
Somebody sent me a comment on WhatsApp. Says, it seems we are putting all the blame on other celebrities. What about our own Christian celebrities? What's your take on that?
Who we...
Not mention names.
Tadashi.
Not to mention names, but is it the same way with? Because if I'm
let me act. I was supposed to say I see pastors and other people, and they're buying really expensive cars, right? And one of them bought a really expensive. I'm not sure if it was a Lamborghini or something for his wife. You know what I mean? I think it was 2 years ago, and one pastor has a couple pastors have private jets and all this lavishness, and they have houses that are millions and millions of dollars. What do you, as a pastor, right? What are you saying to the congregation, right? Why are you spending millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a car alone? known, right? When Jesus was like the most humblest dude, chilling with the killers and the whores, and you know what I mean? That's what God was. You know what I'm saying? But that's a tough one. Why do we blame them? Why don't we blame them? I think we should.
No, she says we putting all the blame on. I lost the message.
On the secular.
So I'm believing when it comes to
don't-
celebrities, musicians, Christian musicians as well. You know,
I think it-
because
I think it-
for example, if I like a particular Christian musician, you know, and he's wearing $1,000 shoes.
Why can't you though? Like, I'm not trying to judge and be like, oh God, why are you wearing $1,000 shoes?
Right, but remember we spoke about how, for example, a Beyonce or someone or a Kanye West who wears something and everybody wants to get it.
Yeah.
So it should be. Does it cut across on the other side where if a Christian brother or Christian sister wears it, then the young man or young woman also wants the same thing.
Listen. Okay? Just because your idol could be wanting something and, you know, fine. I mean, just because your idol or someone that you really do appreciate is wearing some fine piece of clothes or driving a nice car doesn't mean you should be doing the same thing. Simple. You know, if you're somebody who's making millions of dollars and you want to treat yourself to like $1,000 shoes, why not? But if you are not living, it's all about living within your means, right? I mean, God gave us all wisdom and knowledge. Be wise with your money. Be wise with that coin. You know what I'm saying? Don't spend your last just to look hot and cry because Tadashi or Lecrae or Kirk Franklin is walking around with Air Jordans and you spent your last on that same thing. We are given knowledge and wisdom, right? I don't want to judge all these, you know, Christian celebrities on living lavish lives because I'm like, boo, you worked hard for it. Boo, like, go ahead.
Right.
But as a follower, it is important to realize, like, live within your means. And that's kind of just like in general in life. Live within your means. And not enough of us do. COVID, right? You and I were busting our butts off. People are dying and everyone is like locked away in their houses. People are losing their homes. People lost their jobs. People are praying and crying and they don't know how they're going to make the rent for next month or for 2 months, right? Okay, great. This is really scary. A lot of people are going through depression. A lot of people are afraid. What we going to do? What is the government going to do to help us? Government gives people, okay, a lot of people got an additional $600, if I'm not mistaken, if they were unemployed, right? So some people, or a lot of people were making more money than they've ever made. Some were making like $1,000 like a week or something, right? Great. You and I weren't unemployed, so we had to work and like save lives and stuff like that. I shouldn't assume. I wasn't unemployed, you know what I mean? Like I was in the COVID and the stuff. But, you know, based on what I saw on the news, they were showing people like buying amazing things. You know what I mean? Getting that $1,000 purse, getting really expensive shoes, lining up all over and spending their money. And then as soon as like this money stops, a lot of them were like, oh no, we didn't save a lot of the money that we had, all this extra money. We spent it all on like things.
Question for you from Brittany Pacheco Araujo. Brittany says the question for you, Danielle.
Oh, correct.
You were speaking about Kylie Jenner and social media being a big influence on younger generations. How do you think celebrities affect religion? Do you feel like the influences of, for example, Justin Bieber and Kanye West and the new songs and outward acceptance of religion, specifically, where did I lose the message? Okay, you just answer the first part and then I'll look for the second part. So
Alright, so I think I love you, Checks. That's one of my girlfriends right there. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends. So, anyways, I think part of it is kind of saying does like celebrities affect religion?
I found it. Let me read it again.
Okay.
So it says,
nice and slow.
Question for you, Danielle.
Okay.
This is Brittany again. You were speaking about Kylie Jenner and social media being a big influence on the younger generations. How do you think celebrities affect religion? do you feel like the influence of, for example, Justin Bieber and Kanye West and the songs and outward acceptance of religion, specifically Christian religions, will influence the younger generation to be more involved in church?
I do. Good question, Jax. I definitely do. Celebrities do. Ooh, all these questions. I'm already forgetting things. But yeah, celebrities definitely do.
She mostly spoke about
yeah, like
Kanye and Justin Bieber
and
becoming believers. I think Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Bieber's been like finding himself through the Lord and like finding his inner God or Christ, right? And that connection, and that's through like a lot of his songs. The way you hold me, like I love Bieber. I'm a believer. But and then there's Kanye West. Kanye West has this whole like, you know,
the choir
going on. But before the choir, you know, Jesus Walks. That was a really Jesus, yeah. So definitely, it's definitely bringing a lot of people to, I don't want to say just technically Christ, but definitely to more of a religious viewpoint. You know what I mean? And it's making people definitely explore that side of them maybe they never had before, or especially during these times too. A lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are hurt and they're suffering, and they're, you know, we do go to these celebrities. Celebrities are practically like gods in a sense, right? And like, we do get influenced on, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, a lot of these celebrities, they introduce this holiness to us. And, you know, it's great. But then again, okay, you see Lil Nas X? Celebrities bring us.
What's that?
What's that? Who's that?
I think I should have brushed up on my pop culture.
Yes, you should have.
Before talking to you.
Celebrities are bringing us to, I think, this really cool sense of like inner peace, inner God, finding that within ourselves. And, you know, music is a really powerful thing, right? The music, but then celebrities are also influencing us to seek a different route, you know, to go down that stripper pole to hell and to burn, just have a good time.
Mary says, I agree with most of what you said. I don't know which part she doesn't agree on, but she said, I agree with most of what you said, but I have a question. How do you mean live within your means?
Live within your means? Okay. Oh, go ahead. I'm about to sing it out.
If I think my means are higher, I will never know. So how do I live within my means?
What do you mean you will never know? If you think your means are higher, listen, when I say is live within your means, right? You have a certain income coming in or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So suppose I have an X amount of money coming in every year, right? Salary. I'm not going to buy something or buy all these things where now I can't even live check to check. You know, I'm like, oh God, I done bought a $500,000 car. I bought a $2,000 phone. I bought a crazy this, a crazy that. And now I'm not living within my financial means, right? But if I don't go out to eat every single week, you know, then if I don't spend my money all the time and stuff, and if I do work on saving and this and that, I'm living within my means because I'm financially safe. You know, it's not just like check to check. Most people do live check to check. That's fine. But like, if you're living check to check, okay, that's one thing. But now, if you're supposed to pay your bill for next week and you got that little bit of money, but instead of paying put that money towards that bill, you put the money towards like an iPhone or something, and now you can't pay the bill. Right. Like, that's living above your means. So you're gonna know what you're going to, like, your means or your financial budget once you have a certain kind of like income coming in, or you're getting money this way and that way. You're gonna know love.
All right. This question, Danielle. Hopefully I answered. Mary again came with the second question, and if I could scroll down.
I love you guys.
I lost it.
Checks. Okay, we got some.
I lost it. Just go ahead. I'll find it and I'll ask the question again. So, you didn't touch on the financial aspect with the students who are trying to get to school, trying to take out loans, and how it helps them.
Loans.
You mentioned about that, yeah.
All right, should I?
And how you can take your loans and stuff with the right living concept.
With the right living.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So, okay, I am blessed because I don't have student loan debt, right? That's a thing. Yay. But student loan debt is a really real thing, right? I don't know what Biden is going to do with student loan debt, if he's going to...
He's going to forgive us. What do you think?
Yeah, Biden is just like wanting to... Oh, look at that laugh, guys. Look at his laugh. Biden is wanting to just like make everybody super happy and like everything, in my opinion. Like he's trying. Like everyone's going to get the citizenship. Everyone's going to get student loan forgiveness. Everybody. Okay, great. That's amazing. Ooh, yes, right. You know, I hope it goes that way. I don't want people to suffer. Like, I really don't. However, student loan debt is a really real thing. Before, student loan debt, student loans is a predatory thing to a lot of people. I don't want to say to all, but once you sign a contract, once you sign a loan, whether it's federal or whether it's private, once you're signing your name to something, that's like locked and sealed in. And a lot of people don't know what they're signing before they sign it, right? So you see a lot of these people nowadays who are crying because they signed up to just borrow like $40,000, $20,000, right? While they go to college for 4 years. At the end of the 4 years, they're crying because the interest is so intense. So as soon as they graduate, it's like $80,000. You know what I mean? $70,000, and you only borrowed 20 grand. So you have to know, try not to get the private loan, guys. Try to get the federal loans, okay? Don't get the private ones, because then these loans could kind of like sell your package to all these different other companies, right? So you're thinking you're just working on this one loan and this one cute little program of payment, and then you're like, wait a second, it changed, oh no! And they don't even tell you that. Surprise! In addition, every single semester, I would take like a week or 2 weeks, and I would sit down and look at all these different scholarships, right? And every semester, I would get scholarships. So there was this one scholarship, for instance. The professor came to me, and it was a psych professor. How you doing, psych, SUNY Geneseo? How you doing? What's up? The professor told me, you got the scholarship. Not only do we love you and you're awesome, but like nobody else applied. And then it happened again. And that's like thousands of dollars of like nobody applying. So definitely there's so much free... Speaking of living within your means, whatever, like, yes, I think it could be important to sign up for a loan. Be advised, if you don't have to get a private loan, don't do it. 2, a lot of colleges and like just different companies and whatever, they have money to give. They want to throw it at people, but people aren't actually applying to get them. The fact that my college, like, I got thousands of dollars every semester because like nobody applied, that says something, right? Because people are crying saying, oh my god, student loans, or like, oh my god, college is so expensive. But like colleges have so many scholarships that like, what? I just got free money, and that stuff adds up. Every dollar adds up, guys. Like, I'm gonna let you know that.
A few minutes ago, what about those who are already in loans? They already racked up 800,000, 200,000. What is that?
$200,000 alone. Pray, okay? Are y'all believers? Because we talked about believing, okay? You know, she ain't Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You better pray on that that we get forgiven of our loans. No, I definitely think living within our means is a huge thing. You know, you could have a lot of people that get so overwhelmed. Like, I work with somebody. I didn't know what student loan debt was and the severity of it, of the struggle, until I worked with this amazing guy. Him and his wife went to a private college, and they both had like $100,000 debt to pay, and they both got paid very little money, like crumbs. And like, she has like really bad anxiety and depression, and I don't even have to wonder why. I know that I would have a lot of anxiety and depression too if I had all this money hovering over my head, like all of this debt and collectors calling every second of the hour. That's extremely... So I think definitely live within your means, right? Look at Dave Ramsey, because I had a little bit of debt. It wasn't crazy, but I want to get my car payments out the way, credit cards and stuff, right? So I looked at Dave Ramsey. He's an amazing guy that just like a financial advisor. He's bald and great, and he is a believer. Hallelujah. Won't you do it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Dave Ramsey is amazing. Live within your means, guys. Live within your means.
Listen to Lady Jamaica on ADINKRA TV, on ADINKRA radio, on ADINKRA TV, on ADINKRA radio.
All right, so we have just about a few minutes to run up. We're gonna give you 2 minutes to tell us your final words, your final advice to anybody who's watching online. I still couldn't find Mary's. I don't know if she deleted it or something. Mary, you sent in a WhatsApp. I can't find it. So we're gonna give you 2 minutes to, round up. Let us know of your final message, and then from there we're gonna get out of here. Where can we find you if somebody wants you, need some advice, need some what do you call it? Where can we find you at?
In prayer. You could find me in prayer. Hallelujah. No, I'm not really active on my social media right now, but you could say my Facebook is Danielle Dryden, Danelle, last name Dryden, but I probably won't even accept you if I don't know you. I'm so
how you gonna reach your message out if nobody?
Yeah, I shouldn't have even said that, because if I don't know a stranger danger. But you guys will probably find my Instagram later, maybe in a couple months. I have like a whole project I'm working on, and that's when I'm gonna like.
Right, and before you go, talk to us about your podcasting. Is it a podcast?
Oh, you want to know about it now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, great. So, I was on a TV show, Annie, called Night Watch Nation.
Oh yeah, you need to tell us about that too. So
I don't really tell a lot about my life. But
they might have seen you there, so.
Yeah. Oh. And so pretty much it's called First Responders Real Talk. I'm interviewing first responders, Department of Health, but mainly like paramedics and EMTs and stuff. Other people too. And we're going to talk about the good stories, the bad stories, the funny stories, the PTSD that we go through, and like so much more. The trauma, it's all going to be going down. It's going to be, I think, about 10 episodes. And yeah, I'm going to go all around and like really get into the good stuff. So follow us, First Responders Real Talk.
And then where can we find
First Responders Real Talk is going to be on the Instagram, and also it's not on YouTube yet, but we're going to hit it on the YouTube as well.
All right. So when these things come out, please try to find her and YouTube and Instagram, and then you could follow her what she does.
And yeah, you'll be on my show too. So hey,
I'll try. Yeah.
You'll try.
I'll be there.
That's right.
Yeah. And you can. Okay, so your final words was.
Oh, guys, please do things in moderation. Don't do everything, but definitely be open to new experiences and change and developing. That's how you grow a lot of times too. Read books, that helps to grow your mind a lot. And don't be as judgmental. Don't be too afraid, but walk in wisdom. And as you get older, through more experiences, you will get wiser as well. Don't indulge too much in all kinds of things. Just try to grow. And know that a lot of things in social media and stuff are fake and lies, and you are beautiful just the way you are.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Danielle Dryden, for joining us today. We're excited. I'm sure we learned something. There was a different perspective from the places that you came from, but I believe that we've learned a lot. We'll try to bring you back again. So more stuff, yeah. All right. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on Youth Awake.
I'll see you back there, balcony. Y'all gotta come on.
We'll be back again next week, next Thursday, same time, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Veronica, thank you for joining us on Facebook as well.
So long, bye-bye.
Have a good evening. And God bless you.
Bye-bye. Come on, y'all, help me say it.